It's time for your winter sneak peek, sponsored by Choice Hotels. I'm Kim McDonald. I'm with meteorologist Rhythm Reet. It feels like summer just doesn't want to end, Rhythm, and yet somehow people want to know what winter is going to look like. We're constantly getting asked. It is October after all, and we are going to be giving just a little taste of what we can expect in the months ahead. Canadians love all seasons. They don't want to stay shut in. They want to experience Canada. So it's good to kind of have the heads up of what we can expect. So let's begin with how long this warm weather is going to last.
Kim, when we take a look back, mid-September, early October, we saw most of the country from the prairies into eastern Canada really above seasonal. Now, everyone's waiting for this pattern to break. And I can tell you one thing. When it does, we're going to have a very quick transition into winter weather. And that's going to be into November. So even though you may not like the heat right now, don't worry, winter is just on our doorsteps.
Yeah, it's hard to enjoy those pumpkin spice lattes when it's 29 degrees and we're breaking records right across the country. Okay, so what is it that's going to make these temperatures nosedive?
Well, we are looking at a second year of a neutral winter and then a weak La Nina. And what's so interesting about this weak La Nina is the fact that whenever we do see a weak La Nina setup, we see the anchor of a lot of those below seasonal temperatures harbor between the prairies, stretching into Quebec. So that's going to be our initial nosedive as we head from November and holding into December as well.
Okay. The thing is, when it gets this cold, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I complain about the cold. I'm sure I'm not the only one. But it's great to get rid of those bugs. We don't want those big tropical bugs living in Canada, so that's good news. And it's also great for the ski season because it means that even if you don't have snow, you can make snow if temperatures are cold enough.
So I do have some good news for you on that end and any of the avid skiers out there. It looks like you will not have to wait until the holidays this year to get out on the slopes in western and eastern Canada. So there is some good news there.
Okay. Skiers, snowboarders, rejoice. Here's the last thing. Obviously, La Nina is the major player. It is the big driver when it comes to long-term forecasting, certainly winter forecasting, but it's not the only one. So what else is going to be impacting the weather patterns?
So we have a wild card this year, and it is actually the sea surface temperatures in the North Pacific, so just off the coast of BC. Now, these are going to play a very crucial role as we head into the winter months because it causes a blocking system. That can cause more of those Arctic outbreaks to bring more cold snaps of Arctic air across the prairies and into eastern Canada. However, when this blocking does break, you have so much of those warmer sea surface temperatures, it can flood the country with warmer air, and that can cause that potential for a long-term thaw as well, which can't be good. Now, Kim, I do have a little bit of a hint towards that as well.
Okay.
When we do go back into just last week, or the early half of October rather, what we did see is some of those sea surface temperatures starting to cool slightly. And if that does play out, and it is going to be becomes a long-term trend, what we can be looking at is the potential of a lot of that cold air shifting towards the west, so we may just avoid that potential thaw across Canada.
Okay, a lot of things to look at. Of course, winter is still a little while away still. And we know that the atmosphere is constantly changing, and we know that things could change. As you were mentioning, the sea surface is already cooling down a little bit. We'll be paying attention to all of this, and we will have our full winter forecast a little closer to winter. We'll release that on November 26th. So embrace the season, enjoy the warmth while you've got it, but it's not going to last.
Wherever you are, get a precise weather forecast by activating your location in the Weather Network app.